another episode of Coach's Corner, and today we're really excited to have with us Coach Ryan Walker, the new boys varsity basketball coach at Lawrence District High School. And Coach, first on behalf of everybody here in Lawrence 55, we want to welcome you to the district and tell you just how much we're very excited to have you here with us.
Well, I appreciate it. I couldn't be more happy and thrilled to be here where I'm at right now.
So, you know, the season's just getting started, so why don't you just kind of give us a rundown of what you've gone through since you arrived on campus and how you've been working with the boys?
Well, we started all the way back in June, trying to, piece together, because I got the job back in May, so I was trying to piece together at the end of May and hopefully have some summer plans, because I wanted to kind of plant the seed early, especially with, the attitude and effort, and the big thing for me was accountability, holding them accountable to, what was going on and, hopefully changing things, moving in a better direction. So we did summer all through June, had great numbers, had a varsity and JV team. We did team camp. We also did some tournaments throughout Spartanburg, and then team camp at PC. Starting to plant that seed of how we were going to play, what was the correct attitude, what was the correct effort, and what kind of my standards were. And to the kids' credit, they bought in and they played. Now, we played some high-level teams, and they fought and battled, and it's kind of carried over to the fall. Started with a weight program that they haven't been accustomed to, and held them accountable in there, and they got through it for about the first 3 weeks. It was tough because they were sore and they were hurting, and I told them that they would get by that, and now they bought into that, and now they're starting to see some muscles, and they're proud of it, and we're progressing on and off the court. And then as we got in to now, we made the cuts, finally made this team, have got 3 programs in the freshman, JV, and varsity. Feel pretty good about the group, and we're 4 games in with varsity and 1 game in each for JV and freshmen, and I feel like we're definitely got it moving in the right direction.
Well, certainly I would agree with that based on what I saw on Tuesday night. So why don't you talk a little bit about the tournament play over Thanksgiving and what went on there, and then we'll get into the game on Tuesday night, which I really want to talk about because that was such an exciting game.
Well, we started off in the FCA Impact Thanksgiving tournament, and the guy who actually runs it is the Spartanburg Christian coach, who's actually my neighbor. Okay. So my first game ever was against Spartanburg Christian, who happens to be my neighbor. We're friends. He's got 2 girls, and they help babysit my kids, and it was a real weird dynamic for a first ever head coaching game. Played well. They play weird. They play a zone, and I knew if we didn't make shots, it was going to be real close. We played well enough, and we battled through a first game jitters. We didn't execute right, but I'll give the kids credit. They continue to battle and defend and trust in what we do, and came out on top. Pulled away in halfway through the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and got a good double-digit win against a team that's going to win a lot of games, especially in their league. And second game was another weird dynamic for me. We get to play preseason number 1 in the state, Dorman, obviously where I came from. And I was so proud of how they battled. They fought and fought and fought. It was a single-digit game throughout the entire first half. Dorman just executes very, very well. Everything we're doing is new, and they're buying in, but it's new, and we're going to make mistakes. But really, really good teams penalize you for making mistakes. Right. That's what Dorman did. We make a mistake to end the first half. They run the exact same play we do. And they hit a 3 at the end of the half to go up. Instead of 10, it's 13 now. They get a little momentum. And then the game would hover around, the rest of the game would hover anywhere from 17 to 12. And they just never let us make a run. Yeah. And to our kids' credit, they battled and tried to keep coming at them. And we made them earn every bit of that victory, and I was proud. For the third, and that would have been to play in the championship. Since we lost playing the third place championship, we played a very good 4A Greer team, who's got a Division I basketball player. He's a junior now, a guard that made some plays down the stretch that were big time plays, and we made them earn it. But the kids battled. We had some kids step up that didn't step up the first 2 nights. Third day of a tournament, everyone's legs are tired and dead, and we definitely had guys step up. We had Cedric Quan, who didn't play the first 2 games and came in and had 12 points and 6 rebounds and played great. Carson Todd didn't have a great first 2 games. It turns around and put us on his back a lot. Josh Ricks was out with strep throat and turned around, came and played the entire game. So we had some guys step up that I was very proud of.
And that tournament environment, that's just, for a new coach with a new team, that's a great opportunity to work out the kinks and see what you still need to work on after getting that real game experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had 2 scrimmages, but, in scrimmages you're still figuring things out. And, when it gets into that game, you hopefully can figure out who you can depend on in what situation. And you're trying to figure out rotations, especially in those early season tournaments or even non-conference games. So you're always building up to those regions.
Now let's talk about the game on Tuesday night against Burns. And first of all, and I'm sure those of us who were there want to know what's going on with that full court press. How are we going to beat that full court press in the future?
Well, I know Lane, and he does a good job, and he's built that program built on, toughness. And that's what they did. And I tried to warn our kids, and you can tell them until you're blue in the face, but they won't believe you until they experience it. Mm-hmm. And we experienced a different type of toughness with that Dorman team. They really won't. They'll pressure you. But the Burns they sold out, and they used those big, strong bodies that they've been working on in the weight room, and we got kind of bullied and knocked back on our heels. And one thing I've been trying to stress to our guys is I want them to know that they belong. They belong on the court with anybody in the state. If we battle and we trust in what we do and we trust each other, we're going to be absolutely fine. And once we settle down and realize, it's just a press, we make one pass, we make one basketball play that we worked on, we're absolutely okay. And, it took us 5 minutes and an 11-0 start by Burns to figure it out. But I think once we did, we got in the half court or we got in transition, and then we
kept chipping away the rest of the game. Won the next 3 quarters. Unfortunately, just could not quite overcome that first quarter deficit.
Yeah, it's tough. And, in any sports, if you start off and dig yourself a gigantic hole like that, it's going to be hard to come back, especially, against a team that's used to winning. Burns was a playoff team last year, won the state title 2 years ago, so, they've got that winning tradition. So when they smell, that quote-unquote blood in the water, they're going to try to pounce, which is what they did, and I give them credit. But to our kids' credit, they bounced back. They didn't fold. They battled. They realized we had a whole lot of ball game left, and we had our chances.
Despite the 62-61 loss, to me that was a most encouraging outcome that night, to see the heart that your players had and the character that they had in playing that game. And quite honestly, I really enjoyed watching you on the sideline. It was quite dynamic. Officials were always part of the game in basketball, and I really appreciated the way you handled that situation. So that's exciting. Now we've got big game tomorrow night. You want to talk about that one a little bit?
Absolutely. The Clinton game, I'm looking forward to it. I've never experienced it, so to feel the rivalry, I got a taste of it when I came to the football game, and the crowd is jam-packed and everybody's talking. I am super excited. Now, Clinton's talented. They've got some guards that can shoot and can score, and obviously they have a top 5 3A senior. And then again, just the added aspect of it being a rivalry. Mm-hmm. Our guys know their guys. They see each other at the YMCA or at the Ridge, and it makes what that type of atmosphere makes what high school is all about. Being able to be in that big time atmosphere, that big time game where you can have bragging rights, at least for a little bit if you win, because we play them again at their place. And I'm looking forward to it. My guys are ready. We're hopefully ready to build on Tuesday night and learn from some mistakes that we did to ourselves and not make those mistakes again.
Now, I just want to give you a chance to talk about a fundraiser that you're working on right now, and you want to do some things that are outside the normal, purview of the district in terms of paying for things. So you want to do those extra things, and you're working on a fundraiser right now. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. We're doing Snap Raise, and it's an online fundraiser that we're doing as a program. It's not just varsity. It's varsity, JV, and freshman team, and I've kind of made it a little competition in between each group. But it's mainly to offset some costs of maybe some tournaments that we want to go to. Being able to provide pregame meals, being able to provide some extra stuff that you guys already provide. To maybe take us to offer maybe a little bit more than what you guys do, just for the fact that you guys offer us everything we need. That's the first and foremost. We have a gun. Maybe the Dr. Dish would be an upgrade, and that's a cost that could offset this. The added benefits of being, if we had, that extra, we could take maybe our program even to the next level. So that's where this fundraiser can help.
That's great. Coach, I really want to thank you for being here and toughing out this first interview with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll come back, as Coach Walker will be back with us throughout the season, and I hope we'll see everybody at the Friday night game against Clinton at Lawrence District High School in the gymnasium. We're excited. I'm going to be there, and we're hoping you're going to be there as well. Again, thanks, Coach, very much for being here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.